Hi Dominic.
Along there.
Right, we've come to a significant point with regards to the programme and achievements. But what I want to do is I want to step back a bit and talk a bit about your journey through the organisation, through the charity, and where we're at and where we're going to. So the first question that we want to sort of touch on was, you were recommended by your friend Bill, who was on the programme, who was trying to who became a trainee carpenter. And what was it that Bill said to you initially with regards to coming on the programme?
It was mainly the leisure side of things, being able to go out on the water, going out for lunch and that, and just somewhere to go that I can sort of get away from everything. I can go and a safe place to go and relax, away from all the stresses back home, all the other things that go on.
How did you find the water sports with regards to helping you with the stresses and anxieties that you faced?
It's good when you're on the water because you have to focus solely on the water and keeping yourself on the paddleboard or on the surfboard, so everything that you were worrying about or thinking about beforehand is gone for the time that you're on the water. So there's times you completely forget about that whole thing and just having a laugh. It brings back some fun times which you can't always have when you're doing work and all that sort of thing.
You joined us in September 2015, and when you came to the programme, you were at a stage in your life where you were working. It's not a care home. What would you call it?
It is a care home, like it's a residential care home.
Yeah, with people who suffer from autism. But you were looking to try and develop a more substantial career for yourself.
Yeah.
How did you see the organisation being able to help you at that point? Did you have an idea? Because obviously we did the water sports together, we got to know each other, we were able to sort of have chats about where you were at and what your aspirations were. How difficult was that for you to try and sort of pull that together?
Well, I already had a rough idea before I came to the charity with my previous education, but at the time where I hadn't succeeded initially, I had to sort of redevise a new strategy plan, and with going to the charity it gave me time to talk and get things in place and in some sort of order and routine, which is very important to me as a soldier in order to achieve my goals and progress forward. So it basically just gave me a concrete plan on how to go about things.
So would you say that the charity helped you to identify what your main aim was with regards to your future career, and then sort of help you devise a sort of step-by-step progress?
Yeah, they helped me to identify the tasks I needed to complete in order to get to the end goal.
Okay. So go back to the water sports. When you were actually on the programme then, so you would be working at the care home, which is quite a high stress job. You obviously had your anxiety with regards to relationships that were breaking down. How did the water sports help you through those times?
It was good to have something that was physically exerting, so I could, being a soldier, if you're stressed, you push yourself like a lot, especially on PT and that. And it was good to relate those, exerting the stress out through the water sports by physically grafting on the surfboard or the paddleboard. Really did help me, feel good about, I've done a hard workout today. I feel like I've sort of lifted it off my shoulders a bit.
So would you say that kind of helped you sort of refocus on the problems that you had in a different way?
It calmed me down in a way that I could look at my issues in a more adult way and more
Pragmatic?
Yeah. I could look at them a bit more professionally rather than letting my emotions take over and then things not necessarily going as they should. If I hadn't had a chance to go in the water, I would have gone in with my heart and not used my head.
Yeah. Did you find that that we as representatives were helpful to you during those times?
Yeah. It was just good to have someone that would listen, because not many people take the time to listen even in like the NHS side of things. You know, they're just sort of doing a job, but with the charity, you know, we were just out there having a laugh and that, and it's easier to sort of express yourselves in a bit more of a relaxed environment rather than a sort of one-to-one counselling session. Yeah, it's a bit more strenuous.
As you were working through now, we identified that you wanted to get to university, but your attempts had not worked so far. We'd sat down with you and we'd identified a sort of a programme that we would work through. One of the main things was to work towards this GCSE in English. And this was a 2-year programme, but we were going to achieve it in a year. And we've got the big book that we went through in 1 year. How did you find the task initially when we the charity support you obviously provided you with the education, but how did you find the task initially?
Well, it was very daunting when I first got the booklet because it's massive, and I hadn't studied English since I was at school, which was a good 6 years ago. So it was very sort of nerve-wracking at the time because I knew it was an important thing that I needed. But you know, the charity gave me the confidence to say that we'll get it done. You know, and gave me the time and the places to be able to work effectively as well, which then inspired me to push myself when I was at home in my free time to do my work as well.
How would you rate the quality of provision? In other words, when we were sort of going through the GCSE, the way that we prepared lessons, the way that we worked with you, how would you rate it?
It's literally like having one-to-one time at school. So all the focus and all the learning skills that you need is focused solely on, which is something I've never had before. So it was really beneficial to me to be able to get that. You know, do it on my own terms, have the time to take things in, ask questions from the start. You know, it was really helpful to be able to have it at that level.
Now we've reached the point where you sat the GCSE exam, yeah. That was in June, early June, and then we had to wait till August to get your result. And can you tell everyone what your result was?
My result in English language was an A grade, and I needed a C grade to get to.
Yeah. So we could say that we were very successful.
Yeah.
Were you pleased about it and relieved?
Yeah, I was very pleased about it because it's something I've never been sort of good at, you know, and I'd struggled with in the past, and to sort of overcome that struggle just to show that even though you're not good at something at the start, if you work hard at it, you know, you can be amazing at it if you put the effort.
You obviously left school as you could say a kind of slightly immature teenager. You want to be quite brutally honest about it, as a lot of guys who go into the army are. And of course, when you were at school, it was a different environment. You had a different attitude. You joined the army. They made you the man that you are in terms of discipline and gave you a lot of skills. How advantageous was it to you to come to us at that point in time, looking back to where you were when you were at school? So what was the difference in your attitudes towards the way you approached?
The motivation was there because like when I joined the army I didn't need any grades, so I just sort of sacked it off, you know, because I knew I kind of already had a job. But now that I knew I needed, like in civilian lifestyle with the English results and you need your qualifications, I had a goal that I had to work for mentally, not physically like the military does, but having the discipline, you know, from the army definitely helped me a lot to get on. And you know, when times were hard, was to push myself to, you know, be able to get through it. Because a lot of times in the army where things do get hard, but you just have to walk through it like that.
So would you say that for most lads who join the army, come from school and haven't done well at school, that when they leave the army it's actually an ideal time for them to retake up their education?
It's worth doing, yeah. you know, because the mentality's there. You know, well, for me it was anyway. You know, I'm literally proof that, you know, just an infantry soldier that's not really looked upon as that clever by the rest of the military can go do degrees.
And that was probably partly due to your military training.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got to that point. While we were doing your GCSE, we were obviously working towards getting you into a university. How did the charity help you with regards to doing that, achieving that?
They helped me out with my UCAS application and all the relevant forms I had to fill in for the universities, and then we worked on interview techniques specifically designed for my course and my unis that I was going to, and they took the time. It was similar to the English lessons we had. It was on the one-to-one basis again, and we had the time to, they'd teach me the skills first, and then they'd let me practice them, and then they'd tell me where I was going wrong, what I was doing well. And it was an equal balance of, okay, you need to work on this, but this is really good, which I found helped me a lot, because I like to know if I'm doing something well, which is difficult to obtain from in the military, because a lot of the times you need to run over there as fast as you can. If you don't get there, then you're going again, sort of thing. So having that praise definitely helped motivate me to work hard at it, and it again, you know, helped me get used to what civilian life was like and how to interact around civilian people, such as lecturers at unis, because it's totally different from talking to a platoon commander and an interviewer.
So you're going to go to Oxford Brookes University to study as a paramedic. How is the charity going to support you through this now?
Well, they've helped me with my GCSE, but I've also got the opportunity to come back to the charity and ask for help in reference to essay structures, and again personalising my work towards the uni, and helping me get used to things like referencing and higher level pieces of work.
Good. This is quite good, because a few years back, when my son was at uni, he was there with a chap in his 30s who was an ex-marine who had served in Afghanistan, and he unfortunately didn't have any support, and as a result he ended up not completing his university course and selling his house and heading off to Thailand. And I always remember it with great sadness, because I thought if that chap had had the support, then he could have achieved and been part of society, instead of heading off to Thailand, and almost as a form of escapism. So it's good to see that we're doing something that's really positive. Okay, so we'll see where it goes from here. University, good luck, well done,
Yeah,
and you know, we'll crack on with it.
Right.